Alright, so in this video you will learn first how to use and map parameters to the smart controls in Logic Pro X. 2. How to map them to external controller knobs or faders. And 3. How to automate parameters then with, for example, your MIDI faders inside Logic Pro X to make a performance of it. So I've loaded 3 different plugins, the retro synth with this sub-bass kind of sound, Alchemy with this soundscape type of sound, and Omnisphere with this acoustic strings type of sound. Now I am going to open up the smart controls for this track, which you do by simply clicking the letter B on your keyboard, which opens up the smart controls down here. And these smart controls will look different depending on which track you have selected, which plugin is loaded. You can even see it mimicking the graphical design here of the retro synth. And these are the pre-mapped controllers, as you can see. You can of course change these if you want to, but Logic gives you these default mappings, which you can use right away. So if I want to, I can, instead of going into the interface, I don't even need to open it up, retro synth. As you can see, I can control the cutoff right there. And if I change to the second plugin, Alchemy, I get these parameters. As you can see, the design mimics the design of Alchemy. It does this for all stock Logic plugins, by the way. And you can map the XY pad, which I love in Alchemy, and all these other settings. But if I load a third-party plugin like Omnisphere, nothing, because nothing is pre-mapped by Omnisphere here. So let's dive right in with the retro synth. Now, this is already mapped. So let's say you want to map the cutoff to, for example, what's usual, the mod wheel on your MIDI keyboard. Well, it's not mapped right now, as you can see. You need to click this I button here, which opens up the automatic smart controls parameter mapping and external assignment mapping. So first, let's click on the cutoff. It's blue now. Then you click on, well, if you want to map another parameter, so let's say this one here, click on that, click learn, and then map, let's say, semitones here. As you can see now, oscillator to semitone is mapped there. So I can use this to change the semitone of this oscillator. So if you want to map it to something different, simply click it so it's red, learn, and then map another thing. When you're done, you simply click learn again, so it's not red anymore. And now, as you can see, this is mapped. Again, click it so it's blue, click learn, drag whatever parameter you want to map, click learn again, and now that is mapped. So that is how you map parameters. But next, how to map external controllers. Well, let's say you want to map the cutoff to your mod wheel. Simply click it so it's blue, then click this learn, external assignment, then use the slider here, your mod wheel, and as you can see, it now is mapped. Release it, click learn here, and now this is mapped, so I can play. And it sounds out of tune because this is semitone. Let's click hold out Option key or Alt key and left click with your mouse to take any parameter back to its default value. So now, all right, that is how you map parameters. You use this one, learn. After you choose which button you want to map to any parameter. And I can show you this in Omnisphere 2, unmapped, as you can see. So let's say we go into the, let's map this filter knob here, this overall filter, right? Unmapped, simply make it blue, click learn, drag this. Oh, by the way, no, you have to do something else in this case. In Omnisphere, you need to right click, enable host automation, and now you can map it. I don't know why Omnisphere makes you do this extra step, but remember, right click, enable host automation when you want to map it. Now that is mapped to the master filter. Now you want to map that to your mod wheel. Again, make sure it's activated. Here, click learn on external assignment, drag your mod wheel, and now I can do it like this. Why doesn't it sound? Oh, I need to click learn again. So you can make these cool filter, sweepy, paddy things if you want to. So that is how you do it in an external plugin, at least in Omnisphere. Now let's get to Alchemy. So for example, open up this. If you click I here, you get the full spectrum. When you get I, it shrinks down, so you can only see this. Let's say you want to map the XY controller. If you have an iPad, you can use the Logic Remote to map this. And if not, you can, for example, map it to, let's say I map it to the pitch bend and mod wheel here. So let's click that one, learn, like so, and click learn again, click that one, learn, so, and now click learn, and now we can see I can use this to make, let's say we start in the middle and do you do these really cool evolving movement type of sounds using the XY controllers here in Alchemy. So that's how you can map it, how you can map parameters. Again, you can change if you want to the parameters. Let's say you want to map, this is the effect. You can map, these even have controls here. Simply click on it. Not effect, you want to map vibrato. And now that is vibrato instead. Click learn again, it's mapped. But the final part is how you record all of this. So let's use RetroSynth to demonstrate that. So we have this sub-bass kind of sound. Click B to open up the smart controls. You can click this to get rid of that. Let's say we are... Wait, didn't I map that? I thought I mapped that. Let's map it. Okay, I didn't. Click that, click learn, do like this, click learn again. Now I can use this too. So let's say you want to record a filter sweep. Well, let's see what happens. Like so. Let's listen to that. Nothing. Completely static. What you want to do, what you need to do is to put it, if you click A to get your automation, you see it's only on read, so it didn't record anything. You need to put it in one of the write modes, and I recommend using touch. So now, when you are in the region here, I recommend, by the way, using read-in automation, because that way you record only the automation inside the region, and then you can move the region around. If you record it in track automation, so simply left-click here to change between track and region. If you record in track, well, it records in this position. When I move it around, it gets out of place. So if it's in region, you can record it right there. However, in case you don't have any region, Logic actually forces you, if I change the region and go to touch, look what happens, it forces you to record in track. So what I recommend actually is to record the performance first. So let's do that. Click to touch, like so. Right, so now we have, let's see if I can get it working. I need to quantize. Whoop. Then go to region. For some reason, you need to have that region first before you can record it with touch in region mode. And now, if I use the mod wheel to control the cutoff, I can record the automation. Oh, by the way, this is the cool thing. When you have region, even if it's here, if I start recording here, it will only record inside the region and not outside it. So let's do that so you can see. I've already started recording, nothing happens, and look what happens now. As you can see, oh, I accidentally quit you early. If I continue recording, let's do that. Look what happens. It stops there, even if I continue recording and using the mod wheel. So that's what I love about region automation, because now I can drag this around and the automation follows it, which it doesn't in the same way for track automation. So that is smart controls for you. I really recommend you to experiment with this. Again, it's as simple as loading up the plugin, the track you want to use, this one, click B to get to smart controls. These are the pre-mapped controllers for this instrument, these are for this. Then you click the I here. This is when you want to map a parameter, which one you want to map. This, let's say this one, click learn, do a change on one parameter, now that is mapped, click learn there. And this one, when you want to map a controller, like a knob or fader, so click which one you want to map, like this one, click on learn, and let's say this one is mapped now. The pitch bend is mapped to, in this case, click learn again, the D tune, whatever. So, and then for the automation, finally, make sure, click A and make sure we put it on touch if you want to record the actual automation. Now, I also have a bonus tip for you. If you do lots of automation like this, you don't want to open up this and manually click here to change between touch, and then when you're finished, go back and change to read, and then close this up again and again. What you want to do is have a key command for it, which you do by clicking Option K to open up the key commands editor. Then you search for touch, and you get toggle current track automation between touch and read. So those are the two settings you will basically use again and again. Now I click here, key, and then I personally assigned it to this bracket here to the right of the shift, left shift. It might be different on your keyboard. This is a Swedish keyboard layout, but now when I have that there, when you have mapped it to whatever key command you want, now if I click this, look what happens here. Read, touch, read, and so on. Now you can switch immediately between these two settings, so you can turn it to touch to record whatever automation you want. Then when you're finished, just click it and it's back to read. I recommend at least having the inspector open, or even having the automation open when you do lots of automation, so you can see which mode is active. But that's basically it. Do you want to level up your skills in music composition, production, and sound design? Then check out my online video courses on my website, professionalcomposers.com. Level up your skills to maximize your music productions.